Well, I'm glad you decided to tune back in. We are now going to start lesson 3. Now, let's review for just a minute because I always like to review on what I've taught. Okay, if you'll remember, the first lesson for 6th grade was over integers, positive and negative integers, okay? And remember what I told you, that your integers can only be whole numbers, okay? Whether it's a negative whole number or a positive whole number, and 0, okay? Then in lesson 2, we talked about the absolute value. And if you remember what absolute value means, it's just how many steps are you from 0? And remember the important part was that you can't be negative steps, okay? You can only be positive steps. Whether you're on the negative side or not, you're still positive steps from 0, okay? All right, well today, lesson 3. We're going to talk about comparing and ordering integers. Now in the 5th grade, we compared and we ordered fractions, decimals, and whole numbers. But now we're going to actually get into ordering and comparing integers, positive and negative numbers, okay? Not a hard lesson, pretty easy. All right, so let's start off, and I will tell you, the smartest thing to do on this is to draw yourself a number line. So you can't be lazy, because if you're going to be lazy, you're not going to do well, okay? Even Miss Lane has to draw myself a number line. So let me give you some numbers, okay, that I want you to put in order, some integers. All right, here we go. -5, 6, a -3, and a 0. Now, you're going to see these little squiggly things around the numbers, and really what that's called is just kind of like a set. It's just a set of numbers. You just put it into kind of like a, just so that you know that these are the numbers they want you to get in order. Okay, it's just a new symbol that you're going to see in 6th grade. Okay, but I want you to put those numbers in order. All right, and let's put them in order from least to greatest. Let's go least to greatest. Least to greatest. Now I know you're looking at that right now going, oh my goodness, I'm not sure I know how to do this. It's very easy with a number line. All right, so let me come over here and let me draw one. Now, if you'll remember in the first lesson, I told y'all, it is not so important that you put every number on a number line. Only put the numbers that you need on the number line. So, example, I'm going to put, of course, the 0 first. All right? So, I got him. Now, I'm going to put, I'll just come back over here and put -5. So, I got a -5 is going to go there. Then I'm going to put a +6. I'm going to say go about right there. Because, you know, really it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and we're going to put a -3. Okay? Well, if I'm at 0, that'd be -1, -2, -3. All right, so if you look at this, and you want to put these numbers in order from least to greatest. Well, first of all, let me explain something to you. If you're negative, you're always going to be smaller than the number that's positive. Your positive numbers are always going to be bigger than your negative numbers, okay? But if you look at this number line, it's going to be very easy to tell and put them in order from least to greatest. Well, look at it. Who's the least? -5. Who's next? -3. Who's next? 0. And who's last? 6. So if you put these numbers in order from least to greatest, it's going to go -5, -3, 0, and 6. That would be your answer. Okay? Pretty easy using a number line. All right? Now, you folks that don't use a number line, to me, I think it's very confusing. All right? Okay. So let's take a look at this one. Let's compare this time. We're not really ordering this time. We're going to compare these two numbers. All right. So let's say that you have a -5 and a -2. And I wanted you to put the greater, the less than, or the equal sign in between. Well, you know, normally, when you're not doing negatives, you know that 5 would be the bigger number. But it's right the opposite of what you think when you're doing negatives. 5 is not going to be the bigger number here. And you've got to think, who is further away from 0? Because the farther you are from 0, the smaller you are. So, like I said, if you do a number line, that really helps out. So Miss Lane's going to draw one. And again, I always put 0 on the number line because I like to split the positive from the negative. All right, so if I put a -5 on my number line, -5 is going to go there. What about a -2? About right there. All right, well, if you look at that, who's further away from 0? -5. So he's going to be smaller. Who's closer to 0? -2. And if you think about this, look and see who is closest to the positive side, because you already know that your positive numbers are going to be bigger. Well, of course, -2 is closer to the positive side. So your -2 is going to be larger, and your -5 is going to be smaller because he is so far from 0. Okay? Again, like I say, it is a whole lot easier to draw a number line than you trying to do this in your head. And most of you that try to do math in your head, sometimes it does not work out for you. So I don't suggest it. All right, let's look at another one. All right, so let's say we have a -5 compared to a +1. All right. Now, really and truly, think about this. Automatically, who's going to be bigger? The positive number. Because we've already stated that your positive numbers are always going to be larger than your negative numbers. Okay? But Miss Lane's going to do a number line anyways, just to show my work. So, again, I'll put the 0 on the number line. I'm going to put the +1 there. And the -5 here. And again, you notice Miss Lane is not going to make you fill in the whole number line. Okay? So again, looking at this, you know the positive is going to be bigger than the negative. Okay? Pretty easy. All right, let's look at this one. Let's look at 6 compared to a -2. Okay, so again, I'm already thinking I know the answer because based off what Miss Lane just told me is that a positive number is always bigger than a negative number. But I'm going to show my work. So there is my 0, there is my -2, and there is my +6. So obviously the +6 is bigger because a positive number always wins out over a negative number. I would much rather be positive in my bank account than negative in my bank account. All right, now let's go back for just a minute and let's do a couple more of the least to greatest and the greatest to least since Miss Lane has only done one for you. All right, so let's put these numbers in order from greatest to least. All right, so here are my numbers. -4, 3, 11, and a -25. All right, so again, Miss Lane's going to start off with a number line. And you know I'm going to put a 0 on it. Okay, so let's put a -4 on this. Well, I'm going to say it'd probably be about right there. Got that one. Then let's put a +3, about right there. Got that one. Let's put a +11. I'm going to say it's about right there. Oh, not negative, positive. And then a -25. -25. All right, so when you do that, folks, the answer is going to be right there in front of your face. Because watch, I'm going from greatest to least. I already told you that the positives went out over the negative. So I know 11 is bigger than 3. So it's going to go 11, 3, -4, and -25 would be my answer. Because again, you look at it, I told you the further you are from 0, the smaller you are. The farther you are from 0 on the positive side, the bigger you are. Okay? So that would be your answer on that one. All right, let's do one more. Okay, so let's go a little bit bigger. Let's go least to greatest. And here are your numbers. -156, 12, 0, and a -45. All right, so again, draw that number line. Don't be lazy. You know that's what Miss Lane always says. It tells you don't be lazy. All right, 0. Already got him on the number line. All right, I'm going to put 12 on the number line. I'm going to put, whoa, a -156. Wow, you are far from 0 there. And then a -45. All right, so let's look at this. So we're going least to greatest. He is the least because he's the farthest from 0. So negative 156. Then move up the number line. Negative 45. 0 and a positive 12. So that would be your answer for that. So now, boys and girls, you have seen how to compare and order integers, positive and negative integers. Okay, now let's take a look at the guided practice that Miss Lane did for you. Okay, so if you look at this, on the first one, it was 17, positive 17 compared to positive 31. Of course, just because I know my positive numbers, because we learned that in 5th grade, I know that 31 is bigger than 17. And I also did it on my number line. Then, when I compared negative 6 to negative 10, there's my 0. I put negative 6. I put negative 10. Negative 10 is smaller because he's further from 0. And negative 6 is bigger. And that's what I showed. On number 3, negative 8 compared to negative 3. There's my 0. I put negative 3, negative 8. Negative 8 is further away from 0. So he is smaller. And negative 3 is bigger. Then I came down here and they wanted me to compare negative 38 and negative 83. I set my equation up. I drew my number line, put my 0, my negative 38, my negative 83. And negative 83 was further from 0, so he is smaller. And negative 38 is closer, so he's bigger. Then on here, they wanted me to put all of these on the number line, and I did. And they wanted me to get them in order from greatest to least. And I did. And it was very simple because I started at my positive side and I worked my way backwards toward the negative and I put them in order. So there is the guided practice. Now, what you're going to do is you are going to complete numbers 1 through 7. On number 1, 2, and 3, you're going to put those on your number line. And then you're going to put the greater, the less than sign in the middle. Okay? And then Miss Lane went ahead and set up the comparisons for you. Put them on the number line. Then put your greater than, your less than sign. And then on here, here's the number line. Here's the number line. Plot those on the number line. And put both of these in order from least to greatest. Okay? All right, so tune in for lesson 4 next time.